With Austin home prices in flux, what areas around the Austin area, what suburbs should you be looking at in 2024? I'm going to break down the October numbers for what the positive and negatives for these areas are, and then give you kind of some input on whether these are areas you should be looking at going into 2024. Jeremy Anthony Group, your favorite Austin realtor. There are suburbs that are positive year over year right now, and this list of positive is getting bigger and bigger every time we do this video. So let's start off with the bottom on the list, the Lake Travis Westlake. Now this really isn't a suburb, it's kind of a neighborhood still in Austin. They are down 1% year over year. So if you're living in Westlake or Lake Travis, down 1.1%. Now, right now, the months of inventory in this area are 5.9 months of inventory. I imagine we're gonna see a little more inventory going into the beginning of the year in all of these areas. So I imagine that we're gonna see months of inventory increase. I still think Westlake and Lake Travis, because of the school district, are the reasons why you want to be in this area. Let's bump up the list. Now, this is crazy. So we're gonna go up. Biggest drop is 25%. The biggest positive is 59% year over year. So we're gonna talk about this as we keep going. Okay, number 2 on the list going up the biggest drops, only down 2%, is Kyle, Texas. This area is great, south of Austin. The median price for Kyle right now is $349. I think it's gonna be hard to find a home in that $349. Back in May of 2022, prices were 50 grand higher. They were 50, almost 400. We're at 4.4 months of inventory. So I think this is the area that you'd be safe buying in going into next year. There is a decent amount of new construction. So I think Kyle is just one of those areas that I would continue to look at. Going up the list is an area that I talk about a lot, and it's an area that I've purchased investment properties. Now, keep in mind, the information I'm giving you here is all surface level. We give on a daily basis our clients way more information than what I give you here. So if you like this information, you go use it to go buy a home, just know that you're gonna be a lot more prepared actually working with us as a client. Next up the list, New Braunfels, down 4% year over year. This is one that's been positive, kind of negative, but year to date, New Braunfels is actually positive 1.5%. The median in there is about 394. If we look at that compared to to 2022, the height of 2022 was at $432,000. So not bad of a drop, only down $30,000 from the height of the market. Oh, should you be buying in New Braunfels? Yes. The answer is yes. It's primed to be one of those areas that continues to see growth. Okay, going next up this list is going to be Round Rock. Round Rock is down 6.6% year over year. Their median is for year over year is 411. It's interesting that the year to date shows it at 425, so I don't know why there's such a big difference there. If you go back to 2022, the height of the market is at 545, so we're down considerably from there. But there's only 3.3 months of inventory, which is pretty much on par with Williamson County. Williamson County is at 3.2 months inventory, so not too bad there. Let me ask you this. Who is the number one suburb that is down? What do you think is the number one suburb that is down? Definitely drop your comment below. But as we go up this list, Taylor, year over year, down 8.3%. What's interesting about Taylor, there's only 2.3 months of inventory. And so Taylor, what is going on in Taylor? Obviously, you have the Samsung plant going in there. So Taylor is going to be high on a lot of people's lists as far as looking for investments, but it's actually not that far down from where it was at the height of the market. The height of the market was only 344,000, now down to 330, but down 8.3% year over year. Going up this list, another one with a pretty low as far as months of inventory. So months of inventory means basically if we stopped listing homes right now, how quickly would it take for all of those homes to sell off? And so it would take 2.3 months of inventory. So 2.3 months of inventory, you have Elgin on next on this list at 332,000, not too far outside of Taylor. Now, this is the height of the market for Elgin was 364,000. So kind of on track with Taylor, pretty close to it. 8.9% down year over year as of right now with a $322,000 median price. I think it'd be tough to find a house right now in Elgin for 322, but you tell me if you found one. Going up the list, one that we talk about a lot on this channel, an area that we've had quite a few clients buy in. A lot of YouTube channels are really focused on this area, right? There's a lot of YouTube content, these tour channels that all they focus on is new construction in Liberty Hill. but Liberty Hill is down 10% with 6.5 months of inventory. That is a lot of inventory. So I would maybe pause on buying in Liberty Hill for that reason. Look, Liberty Hill is still seeing a ton of development. So it still has a long ways to go. I would buy in Liberty Hill if you're not planning on selling for quite a few years. In fact, do you think I should do a video again talking about all the things you should avoid when buying a home, like realistically, because these are things that we talk with our clients about, but do you think we should do a full video talking about the things that you should avoid buying a home? You drop a comment, I might make that video. Okay, next, going up this list, staying at 10% as well, down year over year, is Cedar Park. Cedar Park's interesting though, so down 10%, it's at $499. And what's interesting about Cedar Park being down 10% is that a lot of people are avoiding Cedar Park because again, the median price is now $499. There's only 1.8 months of inventory in Cedar Park. And Cedar Park at the height of the market was at $600,000. So it's down down $100,000 from where it was at the height of the market, only down 10% year over year. I would definitely keep Cedar Park high on the list of places because it's insulated. There's not a lot of new construction being built. And as of right now, there's only 1.8 months of inventory. That's really, really low. So I would still keep Cedar Park high on your list if that's an area you're looking at buying. Lakeway is next on this list, going up, down 11% year over year. At the height of the market, they're at $835,000, now down to $740,000. So almost $100,000 drop, $95,000 drop, down 11% year over year with 4.7 months of inventory. I think this is an area you still should be looking at. Obviously, it's a higher price point for the area, yet I think Lakeway is another one of those areas that's insulated. You can't build a lot more around there. Now there is going to be closer to Spicewood. There's going to be a new development being built over there. There are pockets where new developments are going in. Yet I think it's safe to say Lakeway is definitely going to be one of those areas. Again, the schools are rated really well, so people are going to be in there for a while. But 4.7 months of inventory, I would definitely be looking for a deal in there. Okay, next going up this list is an area that you ask me about all the time, and I have clients always asking me about, and that is Leander. Leander's down 11%. Very close to the Lakeway numbers. The median for Leander at the height of the market was $560,000, now down to $409,000, but year over year down 11%. So a median price for Leander, $409,000, 2.7 months of inventory. If I'm a buyer going, well, the height of the market was $640,000 and now I can buy a property in Leander for $409,000, that's actually not a bad deal for me. I'm buying well under the peak. So yeah, I would think that Leander would be an area you'd still want to look at, even though it is down year over year 11%. So that's why I would think you should really stay on there. Plus only 2.7 months inventory. There's not a lot available in Leander. I think Leander is also starting to run into some space issues as far as how much they build. There is a lot on the north side as you get into Liberty Hill. So that's where kind of all the development's going. Buda is next on this list, down 15.7%. year over year. It's interesting because I really think Buda would be a good place for most people to buy. It's definitely not a bad area to live. It's close to Austin. The schools aren't rated as high as some of the school districts around the Austin area, but it's still a great area. It was 30 minutes to downtown. I'm still high on Buda really, but down 15.7% year over year. At the height of the market, they were at 490,000, now down to 352. So if you're looking for another area that was really high during the pandemic and now, or during those bubble years, I guess if you will, that's from 490 down to 350. That's almost $40,000 difference. That's not a bad, again, if you're looking at I want to be under the peak, this is not a bad area. They're at 2.1 months inventory. So again, the reason why I'm telling you some of these places are probably still should be high on your radar is there's not a ton of inventory right now and prices have been depressed and you could see where prices could go back to. So think about that. Next on this list is going to be Hutto. I highly recommend keeping your eye on Hutto. I would not buy there for the short term. I would definitely buy there for a long term because every time you hit the Google search, there's obviously more information about Hutto. Another developer's building in Hutto, another community is being built in Hutto, another manufacturer is coming to Hutto. So a lot of stuff going down there. Hutto at the height of the market was at $433,000, now down to $350,000. So about $80-ish thousand, $83,000 drop, down 16% year over year, but only 2.3 months inventory. So I would keep an eye on Hutto. In fact, I just listed one in that area for $569 with a pool. Reach out if you want $569 with a pool. Okay, next on this list, Lago Vista is an area I was never very high on. In fact, the highest one on this list as far as the biggest drops. Oh, and by the way, keep in mind, we haven't got to the point. There are 2, 4, 6, 7 suburbs that are actually positive year over year. So we'll get to those in a second. But Lago Vista down 16%, 530 at the height of the market, down to just about 360, 359 to be exact, at 6.4 months inventory. I was never really super high on Lago Vista, so I would definitely, it's still a pass for me personally, but the next one on this list is one that a lot of people looked at a lot. You tell me, am I wrong for not loving Lago Vista like some people love Lago Vista? Okay, you tell me. Next one, the height of the market was at $380,000. Right now, the month of inventory is 3.6 months inventory, sitting at 310,000 as the median. This is Bastrop, and that means that Bastrop is down 25.8% year over year, which is interesting because at the height of the market, we're only 70,000 off the height of the market for Bastrop. Not as bad as some of the others. Again, am I high on Bastrop? No, I think there's not as much development as I'd like to see in Bastrop personally, but I think Bastrop, if you're wanting a place for land, a little more space, you want more of that rural lifestyle, I think Bastrop is perfect for all of those things. And look, you're getting a discount, really 25% discount year over year by buying right now. All right, now let's start going up the list of the ones with the highest gains. If you'll notice, some of the popular areas that would normally be on the negative are not on that negative. Let's start off number 1 going up the positive list is Georgetown. Georgetown, the height of the market, here's what's crazy. Somebody was asking me about Georgetown in the comments. Holy smokes, this is interesting information here. Georgetown, at the height of the market, was at $495,000. Right now, there's 3.6 months of inventory. That's more than the average for Williamson County. Right now is at $473,000. So it's only about actually 20 grand off of its height. So it's year over year positive 1%. So Georgetown, if you bought in Georgetown, you're still going, dang, I did good. Because why? Georgetown is seeing the benefit of the Taylor stuff happening out there, seeing the benefit of all of the businesses coming into Georgetown, the proximity, the prices. I think if you bought in Georgetown and listen to my recommendations a while ago about Georgetown, you're pretty happy. All right, let's go to the next on this list. Now, what's interesting about this, the height of the market versus where it's at, it's a huge drop. So this is still an area that I think that you really should be buying, even though it is positive year over year. Set a 996 was the height of the market for this area, down to 609. So that's a big, big drop. Yet they are year over year positive, and that is Dripping Springs, Southwest Dripping Springs. So like the southwest area of Dripping Springs. In fact, I have Dripping Springs on here again, actual Dripping Springs. So Southwest and Dripping Springs. So kind of like the Belterra area, High Point area, areas that I purchased in because I knew we were going to still see a positive. 3.7 months inventory, so decent amount of inventory, up 3.8% is Southwest Dripping Springs. All right, Pflugerville, next on this list, 4.9% year over year growth. At the height of the market, it was at $497,000. Right now at $430,000, so a decent drop from the height of the market, but year over year positive at $430,000, 4.9%, 2.6 months inventory, so below the median for inventory right now. We're at, I think, Williamson County's at 3.3, 3.2, so you're below that. So I think Pflugerville, you're still under where it was, the height. Pflugerville, depending on where you're going, there's some good spots. I definitely think Pflugerville should still be on your list going into 2024. Manor is next on this list, 7.9% increase. The height of the market, $440,000. Year over year, it's at $391,000 at almost 8%. And only 2.3 months of inventory. That's not a lot of inventory for Manor, and so I think Manor should be on your list. Look, Manor's taking advantage of a lot of those things. Plus, Manor's growing. I think Manor should be on your list. Okay, going to the next on this list is Dripping Springs again, the actual Dripping Springs, not Dripping Springs Southwest. The height of the market, 954. So you should probably be looking at these prices, okay? At the height of the market, 954. Right now, Dripping Springs 78620 is sitting at 671,000. So you're definitely getting, plus there's new construction you can buy under 500. So I definitely think you should take advantage of that. Give me a call on that. Up 12% year over year, but definitely down. So Dripping Springs saw a huge decline at the end of last year. Jarrell, an area that I have never really been super high on. Jarrell is at 21% positive year over year, only Dripping Springs with 6.1 months inventory, so definitely ability to negotiate on prices there. Jarrell, 2.3 months inventory, is only 8,000 below where it was at the height of the market. So Jarrell rearing back because that's at 360,000 right now, 21% year over year. Okay, so the one with the biggest jump at the height of the market, it was at $1 million. Now sitting at 5.5 months inventory, so lots of stuff to buy in there. So you tell me if you're going to be buying in Bee Cave, because right now the median is $1.23 million. What do you think? Are you going to be buying in one of these areas next year? Drop a comment below. We'll see you in the next video.